Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video I'm doing a comparison of the Moto 360 smartwatch up against the LG G Watch. Now, starting with the strap bands on each watch, you can actually change them at home, which might be a little bit tricky. It's probably recommended you go to a watch shop and get them changed. But moving along, the strap on the LG G Watch is very flexible, it's very comfortable, and very easy to put on and off, just as simple as that. Whereas the Moto 360 is made out of leather, but you have this strap over here which is really close to the notch, which makes it extremely difficult to take on, and especially difficult to take off, as you're noticing right now. So the strap on the LG G Watch is a bit better. When it comes down to appearance, it's a clear winner that the Moto 360 is a lot better looking than the LG G Watch. It's not to say that the LG G Watch looks bad, it's just that the Moto 360 is a lot more, well, nicer to look at, simply put. Both watches are very comfortable to wear as well. For the Moto 360, when it comes to turning on the screen, it's very easy. You have three methods. The first is to simply raise your wrist up as if you were looking at a normal watch. It feels very natural. And of course, the second method available is to use the physical button on the right side, which, by the way, the LG G Watch does not have any buttons at all, only the Moto 360, and of course simply just tapping the touchscreen itself. Whereas with the LG G Watch, you only have two options to turn the screen on. The first is to lift up your wrist, which requires a much steeper angle, is a lot more uncomfortable in the Moto 360, and then of course simply tapping the touchscreen itself. Now, both watches do support a function to cover up the face with your palm, which quickly turns the screen off. Now, the screen on the 360 has a 1.56 inch display, which is backlit LCD, with a resolution of 320 by 290, and the glass itself is covered by Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which also supports auto brightness, whereas the LG G Watch does not support auto brightness. It has a display which is bigger at 1.65 inches, which is an IPS LCD display with a resolution of 280 by 280. Now, the Moto 360 has the smaller display, but it has the better screen clarity. Not only that, the Moto 360 also has better light output. It can get brighter than the LG G Watch. Now, on the subject of battery, specifically with the Moto 360, there's a lot of debate going on. You see, it's advertised as having a battery capacity of 320 milliamps, whereas the people at iFixit opened it up and found that the battery is only labeled as having 300 milliamps. Motorola released a statement about it, but we'll leave that topic for the video review for the Moto 360, in which I go a bit more explanation about it. You can find a link to the video review in the video description. Whereas the LG G Watch has a much bigger battery of 400 milliamps. Now, what I noticed is that the LG G Watch lasts me about a day and a half to 2 days, whereas the Moto 360 will last me max a day and a half. Now, both devices I do use to check my notifications before even using my smartphone. So the comparison is pretty equal, so the LG G Watch battery is just way better. Now, each watch has its own method of recharging the watch itself. The LG G Watch has a docking cradle, and the G Watch has some pin connectors at the back which can clip on. And of course, the cradle itself is magnetic, so there's no fear of the LG G Watch ever falling off its charging cradle. Now, this might come as a surprise, but when it comes to charging the Moto 360, it's pretty cool. You see, it supports wireless Qi charging, and its charging dock is actually wireless. The Moto 360 also has this cool illumination which displays when you're charging it. It's pretty bright at the beginning and then dims the display. So you can actually recharge your watch and then use it as a clock at nighttime. Now, when it comes to internal specs, they're pretty similar with 4 gigs of internal storage, 512 megabytes of RAM, but it's the processor where things differ. The Moto 360 has a Texas Instrument OMAP 3 processor, which is 3 to 4 years old, which might be a concern for some people, and it was for me at the beginning. But I got past that quickly because I realized that Android Wear is so minimalistic, the performance of speed on the Moto 360 is very, very smooth. So there's nothing really to worry about for now. But the LG G Watch does have the clear advantage because it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 processor at 1.2 GHz, and it's a lot better on battery performance. So for now, because Android Wear is such a minimalistic system, they're pretty equal, but with Android Wear updates, probably the LG G Watch will have the clear advantage because it'll last longer in the long run because of the better processor. Now, both watches are powered by stock Android Wear, which includes Google Now, which of course allows for voice dictation of Google searches like babbling boolean, for example. You can voice dictate commands like take a note, set an alarm, open the stopwatch, or a whole bunch of other stuff, including Google Play exclusive Android Wear apps. Now, of course, this comes with stock faces from Motorola, but there's not many to choose from. There's only a handful, which might be a little bit disappointing to some people. But Motorola kind of makes up for the lack of watch faces available for the 360 by allowing you to download an app called Connect for your smartphone, which enables you to customize the colors of your watch faces. Now there's not too many customization options, but it's kind of nifty. Whereas straight out of the box for the LG G Watch, the amount of watch faces is absolutely ridiculous. It's kind of insane how many watch faces there are in stock Android Wear for the LG G Watch, which actually puts the amount of the Moto 360 completely to shame. Now when it comes to the operating system Android Wear experience, we'll leave it as a tie for both watches. They both have their advantage over the other. For example, the Moto 360 has a heart rate monitor, whereas the LG G Watch doesn't. But the heart rate sensor is pretty slow at reading my heart rate. Not only that, it has this other application built in which it lists that I've reached my daily goal of heart rate activity, even though half the time I'm sitting around my desk doing nothing. I can't get rid of these notifications and I don't even know what I've done to achieve my goal. But I'll put a link to this nifty launcher in the video description because it's pretty cool. Both the 360 and G Watch are IP67 certified, so they're water resistant for 30 minutes up to 1 meter. Both watches do support notification alerts, and they're done through vibration, not sound. They don't have any sound output, and you can actually turn off the vibration if you want to. So if you had to ask me which watch I prefer, which one is the better one, remember this is my personal opinion only, so don't take it to heart. I have to give them a tie. You see, the Moto 360 is simply more stylish than the LG G Watch, there's no doubt about it. But I can't wear it as many places at the LG G Watch. For example, you would never see me wear the Moto 360 at the gym. I would feel weird and it's over sophisticated for that type of situation. Whereas the LG G Watch has some pretty stylish faces that you can change. Not as good as the 360, but they're pretty good. But it can also be pretty casual, so I can wear it everywhere I would wear the Moto 360, but more. But the more important thing to here is to remember is that the battery on the LG G Watch is much better. You see, the Moto 360 lasts me about a day and a half average, and that average is actually the most I can get, a day and a half. And that's by checking all notifications on my smartwatch before my smartphone. Well, with the same usage on the LG G Watch, I'm averaging a day and a half to 2 days. That's a pretty big significant difference there. So the battery is what makes it so much better on the LG G Watch. But then of course, there's the other thing I didn't mention in this video, and I mentioned in the review video of the Moto 360. Again, I also mentioned that debate about the battery capacity of the Moto 360 in its review video. The link is in the video description. The Moto 360 out of the box was extremely buggy. It took me an hour to connect it with my smartphone, whereas the LG G Watch, I was able to connect it in a matter of seconds, and that's how it should be. So the Moto 360 is buggy out of the box. I'm not the only person that had this problem. A lot of people have problems with software bugs with the Moto 360. Now Motorola did release a software update to address a lot of these issues, but out of the box you might have a lot of difficulty getting it to connect with your smartphone in the first place like I did. So both smartwatches do have their advantage over one another. The LG G Watch screen is slightly bigger, but the Moto 360 screen is slightly sharper. Then there's the battery issue, and then there's the style difference. So there's a lot of mix and matching here and there. The Moto 360 was not the major game changer I expected it to be, as the overhype, it was supposed to be the glorious smartwatch of this year. I actually will expect the LG G Watch R to be that watch. I expect it to be the stylish watch of the Moto 360 with the great performance of the LG G Watch. That's something to look out for the end of 2014. That's still an approximate release date. So when that watch is released, I will be definitely getting my hands on it. Be sure to check out that review. That should be pretty exciting and cool to check out. And I'm done for now. So if you guys found this video useful, be sure to check out the review video of the Moto 360, the LG G Watch in the video description, which I go over much more details of each watch, the Android Wear software demo, which is a smartwatch operating system demo. And be sure to check out my Facebook, Google+, Twitter links, also in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.